Hello, hello, hello. God bless you, everyone. You're tuning in into another exciting show of Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, we do have another exciting show. Our special guest should be joining us real soon. I'm not going to share it just yet, but I'm going to give her time to get into our programming. Let me tell you, we are the day after the first presidential election. We all need to be on our knees praying because we have to be imperatively important to know that we need to have our voting options in place. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We must be prepared for voting November 3rd. I'll keep it, I'll leave it there. We do know that Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard also has a phenomenal program called Senior Votes Matter. That's our hashtag that allows us to go to many communities across the country. We're going to also put a notice that we have. If you're familiar with Facebook and you create a profile picture, when you click your profile picture, just hit one little button and type in frame, add a frame, and you can upload Senior Votes Matter. That's right. There's a frame for Senior Votes Matter. This is our nonpartisan campaign that we're using to make sure that our older Americans have the proper tools and are equipped for whatever their options are at the polling place. So you need to get ready, get on board. SeniorVotesMatter.com is our website. You can look on it, but the full launch will be on this coming Friday. We got a lot of great things to share. We're going to be coming into the community, and our platform is in place because we want to ensure that older Americans are not intimidated, i.e., from this first election, intimidated by the voting process. So we're going to be making sure that we hit the community real hard. We have 34 days or 33 days until the November 3rd election. And as we already are telling people, somebody may get hurt. So we're going to put that all in place. So I am asking all of our community partners and friends to please get on board. Senior Votes Matter is a new dynamic. We're asking people who are watching and viewing, if you're responsible for older Americans, if you know of a senior, we have a web store where you can purchase our Senior Votes Matter mask. You can also post or also upload or purchase our Senior Votes Matter window signs. We got it all for you. So just waiting for our guests to join us. But anybody, I'm telling you, if you got a comment or question for anything that you hear on Senior Talk, or if you want to throw some comments to me, our guest is going to be just a little bit later arriving to our broadcast. But I am telling everybody, please get on board, be a part of what we're doing because we're here to serve you. It's getting critical. We are in those times. I don't know what to say. That debate last night was very, very direct as to whom is looking to lead our country. And the verbiage, the distrust, the abuse, the verbiage, also the disrespect of the moderator. It was absolutely insane and unheard of. And it was non-presidential, as one of the candidates said. So I am asking everybody, if you're very interested in being a part of our platform, we have friends who've reached out to me. Thank you to my Purcell Julian family who reached out and said, hey, Claire, we want to make sure that we can get on board with you and we want to provide transportation to the polls. So yes, we will receive that transportation to the polls. We also have friends who said, Claire, we want to make sure that we can assist with our older Americans being not intimidated by their choice of polling, of placing their vote. So that means if you choose to mail in, if you choose to go to the polls, we're going to provide you with resources and people who can lock it in and make it happen for you. So we also have on our Facebook page or on our note, we're going to share with you about the process of updates, because there are a lot of things that need to be in place. You need to know. And if I could share this with you, also, the United States Census, it is September 30th. This is the deadline. I spoke to our community partners from the commissioner's office. I have been told that October 5th, which is Monday, is the closest and latest deadline that we have for the U.S. Census. So we're telling everybody to please, 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 to make sure that you get your census information in place. Friday is our Senior Votes Matter show. A lot of community resource partners will be joining us. We want to make sure that we are here to serve you and that we lock it in. So I am also saying to those who are watching and tuning in, because this will play in your local city or state as well, that if you have a product, business, or service that can directly benefit this listening audience and viewership, please, 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 please go to, and I repeat, please go to seniortalkmedia.com. That's our website, and we will be glad to share it with you. Well, if I am not mistaken, our beloved guest is with us today. Let me see your smiling face. Let me hear you say hello, hello, hello. How are you today? All right, so we're waiting on, hey, beautiful. How are you today? We're getting there. So I see your beautiful face. So everyone is tuning in because everybody wants to see our guest and hear from her. Let me know, everybody, I'm so excited because I have a surprise for all of us, and we all gonna do it in unison. So let me get to where I'm going. And before we bring our illustrious guest up, I want to go ahead and play this beautiful song. Everybody ready? Let's go.
Place, child.
All right. We all should have been singing that song in unison. I know that's right. So let me tell you, friends and family, our special guest is with us today, and she is joining me. Her name is none other than the phenomenal, the one and only Miss Christine Houston. Miss Houston, good morning, good afternoon. How are you today? I see you.
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was having a big problem, and I'm working with my mic right now.
Okay. Well, let's
so I can hear you.
Okay. Well, don't have the audio up too loud because we're going to be recorded so they can hear us. So we in good shape. As long as we can communicate, we're going to make it happen. How is that?
Okay. I'm ready to do that.
All right. Let's get it rocking and rolling. So we have many people anticipating your interview. I'm getting comments already on social media. Everyone, we are welcoming to our show none other than Miss Christine Houston. She is an author, playwright, still teaching. She is a woman on roller skates, let me tell you. She is doing it and doing it well. And just for the sake of love and understanding, I want to say thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure just to be in conversation with you. And this is the second installment of our program called A Legend Speaks. So you are with us today because we consider you a legend in what you do, your service, your philanthropy. We also played the theme song to one of America's favorite shows featuring some beautiful African American people, 227. But before we go into that, please just reintroduce to others, Christine Houston. Tell us about where you've been, and then we're going to talk about this inception of 227 because I've read it and it's really awesome. So go ahead. How are you this day? Let's just share what you would have for us to know today.
I am wonderful. I am enjoying the extra years that God has provided for me. I am trying to do all the things that I was left on to do, because while many, many others have gone on, I'm still here, and I'm still able to influence young people and be an inspiration and get into their lives and help them do the things that they want to do. I am willing to step out of my shoes and let some other people get in them and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have been to Hollywood, experienced the racial things that are going on today. I have experienced them for many, many years. I am right now writing a play about a story called Welcome to Park Manor. And it was back in the 50s when my family moved on East 48th Street, which is what that show was based on. Childhood, living at 227 East 48th Street in Chicago, which is now Bronzeville.
All right.
And that story was based on my childhood. And we moved to Park Manor. We were the first Blacks to move on the block of 71st and St. Lawrence. And we experienced lots of racial injustice because we were Black moving into an all-white neighborhood. So I'm working on that. But I know they want to know about my experience in Hollywood and how I got there, and I'd be very happy to share that. I share it every day with my students at Chicago State University, which I love doing. I've been there for 10 years. I graduated in my life. It's another reason why I try to encourage to go back to school, because that's what I did. Had I not gone back to school, I would never have written 227. And I would never have reached the many people that I reached and influenced the young people that I've influenced. I'm very happy to be a part of many, many young lives through having taught them at Chicago State. And I graduated first from a community college. So I always tell students, if you can't do it your major university, go to a community college. Because at the community college is where, my phone was on and I want to cut it off.
Yes, ma'am.
I have students that I gave my private number to, and they call me all the time. But I just need to put it on vibrate.
And let me just take a moment here. Let me tell y'all, and I said y'all, excuse me. Let me say this. Miss Christine Houston is literally a woman getting better with age. You hear me? She's 80 plus, looking good, and she is an instructor, hello, and still teaching. So if whoever is watching, there is no excuse. There is no limit. She's living a no limit life. She is still instructing 2 days a week online through Zoom at Chicago State. And she is 80 plus, getting better with age. All right. I just want to put that footnote down. That's why you are a legend. So let's talk about the Park Manor experience. We are living in some times that almost want to say that we're going back, if we could say that. But there has to be something that the beauty of your family being the first. What was that like to be a young lady in that community and say we were the first? Were there barriers, of course, maybe, but tell us what your experience was like.
I was 15 years old. We moved from 227 into a house, a two-flat in Park Manor. And
Mm-hmm.
our welcome was bricks through the living room and kitchen window, and shots fired, and our garage being set on fire.
Wow.
White kids would stand outside and wait for me to come out to go to school and catch a bus. And they would follow me singing Bye Bye Blackbird.
Wow.
So I experienced that at the age of 15. Graduated from high school at 16 and went to the University of Illinois in Champaign, Urbana.
Okay.
There were very few black students on that campus. And when I left, I stayed a year. When I came back to Chicago, I tried to get a job working as a typist. They called it a clerk typist at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And while they only 50 words per minute typing skills and whites, they only asked for 35 words per minute for whites. They asked for 50 words per minute from blacks. And if you couldn't do 50 words, they wouldn't hire you. So after trying to get hired, I decided to join the Air Force. So I joined the United States Air Force, where I
What?
married and had children. And when I stayed 2 years, and when I was honorably discharged with 2 stripes, I had moved up, but I got married while there, and I became pregnant. At that time, they didn't have the facilities that they have now to
Sure.
raise a family and remain in service. So I had to request the discharge, which I did, and then I came out and began to raise my family. And my kids, I had sons. And when they were teenagers, they complained about me enforcing the rule that my father had instilled in me, that
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to get anywhere, education, as a black person, education was the main point, was the in, in element into raising yourself, your standards, and going back to school was one of the ways that I was showing my 3 sons how important education is. And that's
Wow.
where I wrote 227. I wrote it on a dare by some students who I had told them they wanted to know my major, and I really wanted to be an actress, secret,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't say that to them. I was thinking of writing courses. I told them my major was journalism, and so they said, "Oh, journalism, write us a play. We want to enter a contest." And Kennedy King has won a lot of contests. They never won playwriting contests. And since you're a journalist major, you should be able to write a play.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never written a play before in my life. Never thought I could. I decided, okay, I'll try it. I thought about would interest an audience 2 hours.
Wow.
And I said, well, I could write a play about childhood. My first instructor in writing told me, write about something you know about. I knew about me.
Right.
And I knew about the childhood that I enjoyed. I loved it because I didn't even know I was poor. And in fact, we had in at 227 because of my father being an entrepreneur and having his own scavenger business. We had a lot more money than other people. But I still felt we were poor. I mean, I didn't know we were poor. I take that back. I did
Right.
not feel I was poor, but I was poor.
Mm.
And living in a neighborhood that did not allow me to further myself. My father believed in putting me in places uh, I would say that I didn't want to be in because he believed that if he put me in a white school, they had better teachers at that time. and better books.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt I would get a better education. But when I graduated from Parker High School, he enrolled me in Lindblom. At that time, there were no black at Lindblom. I was the only black, and they hired a detective to follow me for 2 weeks because
Mm-hmm.
my father gave one of his white friends address that I lived at,
Okay.
that I was supposed to be living at.
Right.
And I didn't live there, and they figured that because you had to live in a district at that time in order to go to certain schools, they hired a detective. I was 12 years old, and they
Mm.
followed me 2 weeks to make sure I did not live in Lindblom's Inglewood district.
Well, let me just say something.
It was in Inglewood district.
Your,
Wanted to say what?
I want to say this. Your family, even though some of us look at our current situations financially, the fact that your father and your family was a catalyst into the Park Manor community, it's a big deal. And you were wealthy beyond most people that you would even think that your family, your parents will step out into new areas of the community. So you were wealthy and didn't even know you were rich, but you had a community, you have your family members, your family step forward to say, hey, we can. And he worked hard enough to say, yes, I can. And my family can do and live here. So you were very wealthy, just didn't even know it at the time. How about that?
My father wanted to be the first black to do everything.
That's right.
And he was the first black to drive for Pepsi Cola and Coca Cola as a truck driver, delivering sodas to the store. He picketed and marched and got jobs. And as soon as he got on, and he got some more black people on, he would move on to another uh, situation where they weren't hiring blacks, and he would go in there and picket and march to get jobs for other black men, and that's how he became the only black scavenger. He bought a truck, and to our family, hauling garbage was steep, if I could put it that way. But
Yeah.
it provided a great living for us. I didn't even. We were the first in the building at 227 to get a telephone. That was supposed to be back in the day. What?
Wow.
You had a TV? A lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the kids in the neighborhood used to come to my house to watch the first little postage stamp TV. We called it a postage stamp because of the little small screen.
Right. Wow. So, what has the new normal been for you through this COVID process? You're still instructing, as I've said to before. What has it meant to you just to go still be in communication with your students through this COVID process? And what do you what subject are you teaching? It must be journalism.
I, I'm teaching playwriting this semester.
Okay.
And believe it or not, we're having the time lapse on Zoom. I've been teaching Zoom since last semester
Oh,
when
wow.
we were first quarantined in March. I
Mm-hmm.
had to finish that semester on Zoom. And I found out how to work it. And this semester, the students have not missed a day. They participate. We see each other. We're happy. We're having fun. And they are learning
That's awesome.
how to write their own stories. Because I
Wow.
teach them. If you don't write yours, someone else will write it. and they will get it wrong.
Mm.
So you need to write your own story, but you need to learn how to write that story.
Yeah.
I
I
teach
over.
them, do not write it just for your homie, write it for everybody to
Yeah.
be able to read it, understand it, and enjoy it.
So as we are learning this 227, the characters, where do they come from in your childhood as you were writing? Because I played the theme song, but I'm just looking at, I mean, everybody sings that song in unison. Wherever we are, we just stop and sing it in unison. Who were those characters that we were witnessing through the actual TV show?
In the play that I wrote about real live characters, myself, my best friend, her mother, my
Oh,
stepmother, uh, the people who lived in the building with us,
mm-hmm.
and some of the people who lived next door to us. I
Oh,
had a blind man in my play that sat in the window. When
mm,
the white folks bought my play, they wanted to change it to be their own. So they took one man out of the window and put Helen Martin in there
okay.
as a gossip. My girlfriend sat on a crate just like they did in 227 and gossiped all day. And I thought she was very, very funny.
Mm,
So that's why I made her character. But I was in writing, I was trying to show the relationship between me and my girlfriend
mm-hmm.
and how we grew up. To, became friends at the 8 and 7, and now we are still friends. And she is in her 80s like me.
Would
She's the
none
only
like
person on the earth that I've been more than 80 years, and she's not related to me.
wow, wow. So let me say this. I am excited. But let me tell you this. We only got a couple more minutes. The stoop is still the first therapy that we already knew in our community. What you think about that?
Yes, it was
So
not
we've been
that
doing.
everybody hadn't experienced. It was
That's
being
right.
experienced in a lot of neighborhoods.
Absolutely. So I don't want to get into
What I have to
politics.
say
Yeah.
about what I'm doing today,
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
I I have uh, um, I have published a new magazine through a school called the News School, and it's based on the West Side, and it affords minority, black, and brown students to learn journalism. And they publish their own magazine, and it's called the News School. And I founded that school, and
All
it's in
right.
operation right now.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get communication about that. And I do want you to come back and we're going to talk about maybe next month about people. We got nothing more than time right now. We still should be doing the safety factors anyway. But I want to get more people, as you said, to write your own story. And I would like for you to really share about that process, especially older Americans and people like yourself getting better with age. Everybody got something to say. But like you said, don't let anybody write your story. You write your own because they may not tell the same thing. So that's very clear. So we are at the close of our program. I'm telling you, we could talk forever. You've been very fruitful. And I just appreciate you being our Legend Speaks for September. I appreciate who you are. Is there what are your closing remarks to older Americans, people getting better with age, who need to get into the business of living their lives? What would you like to tell them, Miss Christine Houston?
I want to let them know that it is never, ever too late. As long as you're on the planet, Step out. Is a talent inside you, a gift that you have not tapped into. Tap into it while you're sitting here, while you quarantine. Tap into that that God gave us all. Everybody has one.
That's
You
right.
haven't used yours. And if you haven't, you need to start using it now.
Absolutely. So we're going to close out our program with the phenomenal theme song of your childhood that became into a production and our favorite song on sitcoms. I must tell you, it is. So everyone, it's been a pleasure to be with you today. Christine Houston is our Legend Speaks for September 2020 on Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard. Everyone remember, in complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. We're going to go ahead and kick it off. Miss Houston, you keep it classy. You stay in school and keep those students encouraged. And thank you for being a part of our show today.
You're welcome and thanks for having me.
It's my
I
pleasure.
enjoy being with you.
Absolutely. So let's close it out.
There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. When you know that you're loved, you don't need to roam, 'cause there's no place like home. Times are changing every day. We won't get by with those same old ways. Pulling together, we'll make it right. With help from our friends, I know we can fly. There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. When you know that you love, you don't need to roam, 'cause there ain't no place like family. There ain't no place like family. There ain't no place like, there's no place like home. I mean, no place, child.